Alright, here we are at the North Adelaide North Course on the first hole. Good bit of contact off of that and got it to the left, just a little bit short of the green. Chipped it on and it rolled past a little bit, and then did the absolute sinful deed of not taking the flag out and having a little bit too much pace on that putt to sink it down for bogey in the end. Off the second hole now, drive wasn't too bad, bit to the left, and then absolutely topped the second shot. Third shot was a dream, except it just bounced off of the green slightly, little chip on, didn't go too bad, and then a few little putts here, and ended up sinking it down for double bogey. Hole 3, the tee shot wasn't too bad, just drifted to the right a little bit, had to get my Tarzan on and get it out of the sticks and the leaves, and then we ended up sinking it down here for a bogey. Okay, holes 4, 5 and 6 now. Hole 4, nice flight here, good apex on that one, and then chipping it on here. We're going for par, so fingers crossed this works out. It dribbles on really nicely from that chip, and with a nice solid putt it went down for par. Hole 5 is a temporary hole at this point. It did get really nice contact off the face there, uphill and braking as you can see, and sink that one down for par as well. Hole 6 now, risked it by going over these trees. Thankfully it paid off and got really good distance and nearly landed on the green on this hole. It just escapes the dogleg risk there. A few little putts here and just really not reading the greens well on this one, so I had to sink it down for a bogey. Hole 7, 8 and 9. Again, going for a risk over the trees here on hole 7. Just missed the road on this one, went a little bit too left, ended up going into the sticks again and then hitting a tree branch which made it fall down onto the ground and makes my head spin in frustration, and then a few putts to sink it down for a bogey. Hole 8 now, nice little par 3 here, good contact, bounced off the green a little bit too far, chipped it on, and the weirdest bounce when it hit the green, just kicked right so bad, but thankfully sunk it down for a par. Hole 9 now, really long hole this one. Solid drive, thankfully it landed dead center of the fairway, which was really relieving. And then it gives me a nice little approach shot onto the green, which then bounced off again, going a little bit too long with those second approach shots. Drifting it on with a few putts, and then eventually missing it with too much pace again, and then putting it down for a double bogey. Holes 10, 11 and 12 now. Sliced this one to the right a fair bit. Thankfully it did miss this huge tree, so it just landed on some dead grass here. Little approach shot, bounced off the green and just caught the back edge here. Chipped it back on, went past the flag, putted it down, and surprised myself so much with this, especially because the flag was still in, and saved it for par. Hole 11 here, great contact. I could not believe how high this ball bounced on the green when it landed. Bounced so high and off the green, it was incredible. This was with a Wilson Duosoft ball in this round. Hole 11 here ended up saving it for a bogey. And then hole 12, going off the tee shot here, nice and straight, which was really appreciated as I go right sometimes on this hole. So nice and straight into the middle of the fairway, giving me a nice approach shot in, and then we end up putting it twice here for a par. Hole 13, 14 and 15. Hole 13 here, we absolutely, I wouldn't say topped it because it did leave the ground, but absolutely flew it across. Thankfully it did hit the uprise of the green there and stopped, which allowed me to then try to putt it on here, and ended up sinking it down for double bogey. Nothing too special there at all. Hole 14, this one always goes right, and again it bites me, and it went right into the dead grass, which then I hit a stick and the ball went out all shonky and weird. Chipped it up out of this rough stuff here, and then it just didn't break on the green like I thought it would, so sunk it down for bogey as well. Hole 15, this is a par 3 temporary hole. Got it to the left, it kicked right, thankfully, onto the green here, which gave me a par opportunity after the last few holes were a disaster. Ended up singing this one down for an easy par on that. Hole 16, 17 and 18. Good contact here, landed me in the middle of the fairway, which I was really happy with on this hole because it does kick to the right with the slope. So now going onto the green with the approach shot. Pretty good on this one, didn't go too long at all. Nearly sunk it down, and then sunk it down for a par in the end. Hole 17, absolutely having to thread the needle here. Didn't quite get the job done, and it landed under a tree here, which made the second shot hard. The third shot harder by being under a tree again. Chunked it out pretty nicely, which was good. Always hard on an uphill slope, and then ended up putting it in for a bogey. Hole 18 now to finish off the round on a par 3. Absolutely cooked this one to the left. Over this big mound here. Didn't want to go long at all because it is an absolute cliff side on the other side of this. So thankfully it landed on the green. A 2-putt in for a bogey to finish the round, and happy days.